Thanks for watching Lessons in Minutes with Jaylee. Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe.
Hey guys, for this session, we're going to look at the accounting equation. Now, please note that the accounting equation is also known as the balance sheet equation. So it is also called the balance sheet equation. Now, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the concept of the accounting equation. And again, that's the balance sheet equation. Now, this equation consists of three broad things that are centered around accounting, and these are assets, capital, and liabilities. Now, once you have two of those items, you are able to generate the other. So the very first one that I'm introducing you to is assets. That is your total assets is equal to your capital plus the total liabilities. So basically, when you add total liabilities to capital, you get assets. Now, bear in mind that once you have two, you can find the other. So what if we want to generate our capital? From this equation, when you use your mathematical skills, definitely to find your capital, that is, capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. So your capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. So when you subtract your total liabilities from your assets, you will get your capital. Now, what if we need to determine the liabilities? Liabilities is equal to the assets, that's total assets, minus the value of capital. So assets minus capital gives you liabilities. Now, people, let us look at a calculation, a simple example using these three equations. So here we go. You have a column for assets, one for liabilities, and one for capital. And our aim is to complete the gaps. So where you see the blank space, like for the first one right here, we need to determine the value for assets. Now, in order to determine assets, let us review the equation. And the equation to find assets is equal to capital plus liabilities. And we do have the capital figure and we have the liabilities figure. So let's go in ascertaining the value for assets. Our liabilities figure is $383,765 and our capital is $555,643. We're going to add those two figures together to get our assets. When we compute that, our assets is $939,408. So remember, to get assets, that is capital plus your total liabilities. We're going to look at the other. And in this case, we need to generate our capital. How do we find capital again? Knowing that we have our assets and we have our liabilities, our capital is equal to assets minus the total liabilities. So that is total assets minus total liabilities. Now that we have that information, let's go ahead and ascertain our capital value. Our assets is $845,059, while our liabilities is $300,876. Remember, to get our capital, that is assets minus liabilities. After calculation, our capital value is $544,183. And we're now at the final one. We need to generate our liabilities. Let's review how we find liabilities given the fact that we have our assets and capital. To get our liabilities, that is total assets minus capital. So liabilities is equal to assets minus capital. Let's do our calculation. Our assets is $249,856 and our capital is $100,954. When we do our calculation, that is assets minus capital, our liabilities is $148,902. And that takes us to the end of our lesson where we look at the accounting equation. Remember, if it is that you need to generate your assets, it is total liabilities plus capital. But if you need to find your capital, that is assets minus liabilities. And if you need to find your liabilities, remember, that is simply assets minus capital.
Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe.